Hey there, I'm Brad Barton, and welcome to 1.21 Geekawatts, an extremely low-tech look at the 1.21 most interesting stories in geek pop culture today. Big news from Lucasfilm yesterday. Oh man, not only was there confirmation that principal photography had indeed concluded on Star Wars Episode 7, but we also got the announcement that the movie has a name! Oh my gosh! And that title is Star Wars The Force Awakens. Oh, okay. All right. All right, cue the jokes about the Force being a heavy sleeper. All right, so let's discuss. And by discuss, I mean heavily overanalyze. First of all, this title absolutely follows the tradition of vague first film in a trilogy titles, right? So first we had Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. We had Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. These are both titles that seem to allude to something and nothing at the same time. So this is pretty much in line with those. That makes sense. I think the word awakens alone connotes a new beginning for the franchise, a new trilogy, a new studio. The Force is strong with the Disney marketing department. If they had any input into this whatsoever, it definitely feels like a new beginning, right? Awakens also gives us a big hint, I think, to what has happened or what hasn't happened in the Star Wars universe since we last left off at the end of Return of the Jedi. So the expanded universe of the last couple decades would have us believe that once Vader died and the Emperor died and the second Death Star was destroyed, that our heroes go about creating a new republic and the galaxy, little by little, is rebuilt into something better, stronger, etc. The Jedi Order is rebuilt courtesy of Luke Skywalker, that sort of thing, right? A happy ending. I think that the fact that the title says The Force Awakens is sort of an indicator that is not what happened, and we should not expect that necessarily. I think that this backs up. I don't talk a lot about rumors and spoilers about plot on Geekawatts, but one of the prevailing rumored plot lines is that Luke has been gone for decades, maybe. Whether he's been captured, whether he's a hermit, whatever the case might be, but he's just been out of the picture, and the galaxy is not really a very sunny place. And so with this movie, maybe we're rediscovering what Luke has been up to and everything that the Force can be, etc., etc. And finally, this announcement and title is conspicuously lacking the words Episode 7 so far. Now, I don't know if that's oversight, if it's just shorthand with this announcement, if it's intentional. You'll remember that the original trilogy, when it came out, they didn't get bogged down in Episode 4, Episode 5, even though Empire Strikes Back was clearly Episode 5, it said so in the crawl, and Return of the Jedi was Episode 6. They just, as far as marketing purposes went at least, they were just called straight out Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, Star Wars Return of the Jedi. So maybe we're doing that again, and I think as someone wrote on Variety, actually, in an article there, someone pointed out, maybe if you are in a brand new studio starting your own version of these movies, you don't want to say episode such and such, because, especially if it's Episode 7, because that sure doesn't sound like a new beginning. And B, because the prequel trilogy, which was received, relied so heavily on saying Episode 1, Episode 2, Episode 3, that maybe they would like a little distance, and that's why they're leaving it off. There are some good theories for you. Either way, we've got roughly 13 months to go until Star Wars The Force Awakens comes to a theater near you. All right. Marvel Comics has released a trailer video which promotes their Giant May crossover event, Secret Wars. Now, this isn't your daddy's Secret Wars, and that is a phrase that is terrifyingly true to me because, in fact, I am a daddy, and this was my Secret Wars from back in the 80s. Now, in the original Secret Wars, the Marvel, very popular at the time, Marvel heroes and villains were rounded up and transported to a battle planet which was created and made up of different regions, and then they fought each other and fought their way back to Earth. So this new iteration seems to feature different popular Marvel realities and notable story arcs making up geographical areas of Battle World. Okay, so that means that, for example, the alternate reality of Age of Apocalypse from the X-Men comics storyline is a literal geographical neighbor to Iron Man's Iron Wars storyline. It's a bit of a mind bender, isn't it? It's also not clear exactly what the endgame is of this Secret Wars mini-series or event. Are we trying to combine multiple universes into one? Are we looking at a New 52 style reboot of the Marvel Universe? I hope not. Or is it just another crossover event that when it's done, and hopefully it was a good yarn? Either way, it might be one which features about 5 different versions of Wolverine in it. We'll find out when it launches in May, courtesy of writer Jonathan Hickman. All right, a few interesting changes came out of the original Secret Wars series. For example, when the Fantastic Four returned from the Secret Wars, the Thing had left the team and someone else had joined. For today's trivia question, I want you to tell me which superhero joined the FF in the wake of Secret Wars. The answer to Wednesday's trivia question was prawns, and the first person with the correct response was Adam Haru of Reading, Massachusetts. Congratulations, Adam. You win an oven mitt. Lightly burned. Hey, that's it, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this free bite-sized chunk of Geekitude, please do share it with a nerdy friend and help spread the word. You can like the 1.21 Geekawatts Facebook page. That would be wonderful if you did that. You can leave me a comment on that page or in a comment section attached to this video. You can say, you can follow me on Twitter where I'm at BradBarton72. You can subscribe to this channel and never miss a nerdy second, but by all means, have yourself a fantastic weekend, and come on back on Monday for more 1.21 Geekawatts. Bye-bye, everyone.